What's up, everybody? We are live once again. Late night stalking and talking. That did not come out the way I wanted to come out, but nonetheless, there it is. All right, I didn't announce this at all on Twitter. I'm gonna put in my Discord right now and see if anyone comes. But there, I don't know who's gonna show up to this because I didn't make any announcements about this. So we're gonna see if anyone shows up. Late night stock talks. Let's see if anyone comes up. Let's see. Let's go. What's up? What's up? What's up? I get paid to wait. Thank you for being here. We got 5 people, baby. We got 5 people. I know it's 11:30. It's late. It's not 11. Yes, I think I started yesterday at 11. So it is a bit late. Live now. If everyone's here, I hope you've seen the video I posted today. That video was kind of fire. What's up? What's up? Elena Gilbert, I'm here. Gigi Matthew, what's up here, bruh? Thank you guys for being here. Very, very appreciative of everyone being here. There was some interesting stuff that happened today in the markets in the context of Netflix. Oh man, that I was gonna do a video on it, but I then thought like, I don't know if I want to do a video on it. Because it mooned, and I was trying to like understand why is it mooning, kind of what's happening, what's exactly going on here. But it was pretty interesting to see. Drew, what's up, my guy? Thank you for being here. Jackalope, you are not first, but thank you for kind of being here first. Look, they rallied. Where do they end? Where did the stock end? Where did the stock end? Netflix, NFLX. Me and Sean did it ended at 217 today, bro. The entire market kind of rallied though. So, James, what's up? What's up? Learn to dress, my guy. I just got off a phone call with Gabe. I had a very interesting conversation with my guy, Gabe. And we're going to talk about it tomorrow in the Zoom call. So if you're not part of the Patreon, you should think about signing up to the Patreon because we have weekly Zoom calls. And it was a very interesting topic of discussion. Drew, I think you're going to enjoy the conversation. The Netflix thing was interesting to me. The Netflix thing was very, very interesting to me. To see Netflix moon because they lost 1 million subs and not 2 million subs. I don't know, man. I think the people who bought it, it was computers, it was algorithmic trading. It was not people that actually, if you bought Netflix because you think they can grow, I've got some bad news for you, bro. That shit is going down the drain. Now, if the market rallies, maybe a rising tide lifts all boats and Netflix will be back at $300, maybe. And then Bill Ackman will seem like an idiot unless he made money off the $400 million loss that he took on Netflix or $230 million loss. But the idea that they can grow, like the stock rallied 8% and they lost subscribers, just not as much as you thought. That's just pure market psychology. That has nothing to do with the actual stock being so phenomenal or the company being in a better position. This feels like a late night chill with the boys. Yeah, it is. It's probably gonna be like 30 minutes, nothing too crazy today. I know yesterday was a bit more longer, so we're gonna be doing that. There's a rumor that Microsoft will buy Netflix. Yeah, I think there's a rumor that like a lot of companies are thinking of buying Netflix. Hold on, let me. I think a lot of companies are thinking of buying Netflix. It would be Saul. Amit had no clues how to sell covered calls. First of all, yes, I do, you piece of shit, Gabe. I do. All right, Amit, just on here for a short while tonight. Need me to get me some sleep. How many days left? We got 8 days, baby. Did you guys see the skit? Everyone had to. All right, we're going to play the skit again for those who didn't see the skit. We have 8 days left till July 27th. I thought the skit was fairly good today. It wasn't mocking a movie. It was doing something else. Bro, I'm going out for the third run of the day. I'm running 4 kilometers every 4 hours for the 48 hours. Wow. Emmanuel, why are you out or some shit? Or you're trying to get back, you're trying to be healthy or some shit? Okay, the Zoom is like freezing a little bit. Give it a second. I think the internet's going to come back. Give it a second. Today's been so annoying for my Zoom, bro. Or not my Zoom, my stupid fucking StreamYard. I feel like StreamYard's doing this on their own. Like, I feel like I need to pay for this shit or something because StreamYard's being ridiculous, bro. And boom, I think we're back. We should be back. It's still blurry, but it shouldn't be laggy as much. Give it a second. Give it a second. Are you going to be a tech mogul with dial-up internet? Yo, Loki, that's a fact. Okay. Okay, it's better. Yeah, the Wi-Fi is so bad, bro. It's like I don't know what I have no tabs. I don't think it's a new router, bro. My Wi-Fi works up fine everywhere. It's just when I use StreamYard, the Wi-Fi just turns to shit. It should be a little bit better now. Amit is on Starlink, bro. That's kind of wild. Okay, let me share with you. I think the Wi-Fi is a little bit better. I think it's okay. All right, here we go. We're gonna share. Turn the Netflix stream off, dude. Bro, it's so weird. First of all, Sean, thank you for being here. This is ridiculous. I don't understand why it's being so annoying. Amit is live streaming from Mars. Hold on. All right. So let me share the 8 days clip and let me know what you guys think in terms of how bad the video quality is. I'm looking at it on my own phone and I'm just like, fudge, man. Did I really just say fudge? This is when you can't get demonetized. Like every other, there's nothing else that's, oh, hold on. Maybe I have other tabs open. Oh, all right. I have like 50 tabs open. This is what's happening. Hold on. Give it a minute. I think it'll be back to normal in like 2 seconds, actually. I think it'll be back to normal in 2 seconds. Those were hidden tabs. I had about 50 tabs open. Please keep staying on YouTube. Can't wait to see your channel go through. Thank you, Smiles and Stocks. That's a great name, Smiles and Stocks. I love that name. Yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, hold on. Let's see. It should get better in literally 2 seconds. It should get better. This is actually insane, bro. Why is the Wi-Fi? Okay, at least it's not it's blurry, but at least it's not lagging. That's what's happening. Let's see if it gets a little bit better. Okay, the second bar is here. All right, so let me share this 8-day screen. Let's see what it is. All right, ready? Here we go. This one was a fun one. Boom, here we go. Hey.
Yeah.
Guess what?
There's 10 days left until you start.
There's 8 days left till July 27th when my startup launches.
Okay. Well, are you?
There's 192 hours till my startup launches.
All right. Well, are you?
There's 11,520 minutes till my startup launches.
Which?
There's 691,200 seconds till July 27th.
What floor are you going to?
Floor 8.
There's only four.
8 days till my. I just checked the video while it was doing that, and I think it was pausing so badly. Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to share video. Okay, anyway, thank you guys for being here. This was so annoying. I don't know why the freaking Wi-Fi is being so bad. But yeah, so Netflix is the big thing I wanted to talk about today. Me and Sean did a podcast last night. I really recommend you guys check it out. Sean did an awesome video today. I watched the whole thing. He was talking about it. Best one so far. Thank you. This was more organic, fun. Me and my videographer, we just kind of came up with it on the spot. Look, I think it's a really weird situation that Netflix is in. I mean, this is a nice little algorithmic trade to the upside. And if you were day trading it or you bought it at 190 or something, you probably made some decent money. But in terms of the long term, they've got a lot of issues. Same thing with Spotify. They've got a lot of freaking issues. And to act like they don't have those issues because the stock is up with the market. My dad, bro, bought Google today. He was like, I bought 25 shares of Google. And I was like, I was like, why did you buy Google today? Out of all days, Dad, why'd you? He's like, it's Google. I'm like, but today, he's like, and then my dad, he bought like 10 shares of a Bitcoin mining company. It's called Mara. You guys probably know it. Mara. And I'm like, Dad, I was like, do you know what cryptocurrency is? He's like, no, but the stock used to be 85, now it's 13. I'm like, oh my god, bro. This is why I've had to learn investing on my own, because my parents don't know that stuff, right? Like that's just not their strong. They don't get that stuff. I got my dad into investing. So yeah, I was like, Dad, they do like crypto. He's like, no, they manage data. I'm like, Dad, this is a cryptocurrency miner. I'm like, he just doesn't get it, bro. Your dad invests like me. To be honest, I was like him 3 years ago, bro. I would see something, I was like, oh, this used to be 80, now it's 5. It's a fucking steal, and I would just buy it. Where's the fun part? I have to respond to something. So that's the interesting thing about Netflix. And that's it. Can you refer your dad over to Wall Street Bets? Yo, that's actually hilarious. That's so funny. But yeah, that's kind of what he was. That's kind of what was happening. So Netflix was interesting. We have Tesla tomorrow. Tesla is going to be incredibly interesting. I have zero clue what's happening. I think the market, based on the rally today, is pretty excited for Tesla. I saw a couple of pieces on CNBC saying that it's going to be pretty good and not bad at all. So we're gonna see. Elon's in trouble with this Twitter nonsense, though. Like he's it looks like he's gonna get. It looks like he's gonna. It looks like he has to pay for this deal. It looks like he has to really pay for this deal. That's what it's saying right now. But we're gonna see what happens. I'm so tired of Elon shit. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Elon kind of deserves to have to buy Twitter, given all the shit. Like, you can't be above the law. You can't just be this holier than thou guy and do whatever you want. I mean, you can, but it's also like, come on, bro. You can't say you're gonna buy something and then just back out. A deal is a deal at the end of the day. Get your dad to buy Palantir. My dad is I think he has like 125 shares of Palantir. So does my mom. So they have bought Palantir. Amit, how's the YouTube money so far? I think I've made like 13K off YouTube this whole year. So, or including December last year. So it's not amazing, but it's not bad. I mean, it's extra $1,000 per month or something, $1.5 per month. So it's not horrible. Mara, 32% up today and 6% after hours. Depends when your dad bought it. I think he bought it at 10. So he got it. Now it's at 13. He didn't buy a lot, but he bought enough to have a little bit of a little bit of a run. Gabe, you are right. Do you remember I told you guys to buy Mar last Zoom call? You did say that, Gabe. That is true. I remember Nelson was asking you about that. You did say that. It's okay. FTX will sponsor you someday. Well, I don't think FTX would sponsor anybody. I think FTX sponsored YouTubers, and they saw the nonsense that happens when you got freaking YouTubers fighting over each other and shit. They're probably not going to keep sponsoring YouTubers anymore. I'm so mad it's so blurry, guys. I would like rather do this on my phone so it's not as blurry, but like, I'm sorry about that. There's nothing I can do. I exited all the tabs, all that stuff. But yeah, Gabe has got this right. Gabe also got Zim right. If the rest of the rally, if the market rallies to 450, Gabe's obviously going to be correct. For those who don't know Gabe, he is a options, what do we call him? Guru, expert. He understands options trading very well. He's coming out with his own YouTube channel soon, and I think you guys will enjoy his content. So we're gonna see. Do you think tech has bottomed? No, I don't. Until I see inflation, like everyone on a nice little couple of days wants to feel like the pain is over. I don't feel that way. I really don't feel that way. I think there's some pain left. Doesn't mean S&P to 3,200 type of pain? Maybe. Doesn't mean S&P to 37 again after being at 390, which isn't really pain, but like I don't know. But I just don't feel like it's. I think inflation has to come in lower than 9. We have to be on a downwards trend for this to matter. And we're going to see. Sean asks Gabe, when you launching? Well, that's the question. I think it should be soon. Gabe, he launched a TikTok the other day. He posted a couple of TikToks, but YouTube's a little bit of a different animal. So I was helping with him. I was helping him kind of strategize some stuff, but it should be soon. He told me it was going to be in July. So when he launches his channel, that's when I'm going to give him the official like shout out. So you guys can like go check him out. But he's in my Patreon, and this guy, he's one of the people I respect a lot because he also makes it easier to understand options, and he really breaks it down, and he likes helping people and teaching people. So he's good when it comes to this stuff. Now, granted, he's in margin right now, all in, betting that the S&P is going to get back to April 1st highs, which is when the 10-year and the two-year curves inverted. That's his sort of logic, along with the RSIs being oversold, to be able to make the argument that S&P is going to rally to 450. He has a very specific price target on it. If that doesn't happen, all this analysis was nonsense. But if it does happen, then he's correct. Gabe, why are you saying early August, bro? You told me July. Don't push back the date, bro. Imagine if I said, yeah, I'm not launching on July 27th. I'm launching on August 30th. Like, people would be a little upset. Like, when you make a commitment, you got to say it, bro. You got to do it in July, bro. You got to make one video, like launch in July. And then August, you'll have a better month to like experiment with stuff. Honestly feel that the podcast you do with Sean would be perfect for sponsors. I agree. Now, granted, I don't think it has the viewership that would make sponsors super. But Sean, if you're listening to this is one of those podcasts where the people that are listening are listening. Like, the comments we're getting are people that are like sad that it's only an hour long. So it's Sean's carrying it. This is one of the few podcasts that Sean carries. That I don't have to carry. Shout out to the podcast me and Kelly are doing, because I know I'm gonna be carrying a load on that one. But Sean is carrying the whole thing because he's just so good at speaking, and like, people want to listen to him, and I think I'm good at asking him some questions, and it's a really good dynamic there. So yeah, if a sponsor does come up to us, I think if we show them like that people really give a fuck about the podcast, they might sponsor it. But we're also not in it for the sponsorship dollars. I think we just kind of like talking. We will take out CNBC. My only goal. That is the goal. I have to travel to Iowa for 2 weeks. That's why. Okay. That makes sense, Gabe. If you have to travel, I get it. But you can still bust out a video, bro. Like, you just bust out a video. Sean has incredible knowledge. It's great. The thing about Sean that you guys either know or don't know is he works, his day job is like, he does a lot of shit that most people that are into the investing world that call him an idiot and call his arguments kind of, they would never have even like in many lifetimes have the ability to meet the people or network with the people that he consults with on a daily basis. So when we say Sean is, and that gives him all the experience to then speak from that angle, which is why I love listening to him, on other podcasts he does. I listen to everything he has to say, because I'm just like, fuck, man, this guy, this is one of those gems you find that's talking about something that they're actually talking from so much experience that it's insane. There is no YouTuber on the planet that has the level of experience this guy has. And which is why Sean doesn't have 1 billion subscribers, because he didn't have time to make fucking YouTube videos. He's actually going and getting experience and doing shit. So I'm happy we got the pod. And it's called Not Financial Advice, which is such a great name for the podcast. It's like amazing. I am self-studied and have been a professional trader for 6 years. Yes, this is true. This is why Gabe is awesome. Fed is going to keep raising rates and tanking the market. That's the other thing. We haven't even talked about that. If the Fed raises rates, well, either the market's baked it in or they're going to be surprised. I doubt they would be surprised. Even by 100, I don't think they'd be surprised. It might go down a little bit. But again, it's like, we've been in a downward trend for the past 6 months. And today was one of the first days I've really felt like we've broken out of it. But it needs some time, right? It needs some time to really solidify itself. And I think inflation has to go down, along with oil prices and commodities showing that they're going to. But like, I don't know, there's a lot to ask before this completely is in the blue. A lot to ask before that happens. I'm going to join the Patreon just for Gabe. Look at this, Gabe. You're getting me Patreon subscribers. So we have a lot of fun on the Zoom calls. Yes. If you cannot afford the Patreon, which is $5 a month, message me on Twitter and I will send you the Discord link. I had someone who's in college the other day message me. He's like, yo, man, I'm so inspired, blah, blah, blah. I can't wait till I join the Patreon. And I'm like, bro, just join the Patreon. So if you're tight for $5 a month, just message me on Twitter and you guys can get into the Discord. And it's a good, I mean, we have some good conversations there. So it's good. Wait, you have a podcast with Sean? I recall him from your live streams, I think. Yeah, Sean is in the chat right now. It's called Invest to Live. Look at the Not Financial Advice video on YouTube. On my channel. I posted it today. I would suggest listening to it. It's a really good podcast. We talk about a lot of stuff. And we have some great conversations. When Apple finally bottoms, that's when we bottom. Yeah, Apple went to 150, bro. Apple was stuck at like 134, 130. I was just like, and then I saw it. I was like, 150. Goodness. 150. Okay. There we go, Apple. That's what we're doing. Apple's like, and Apple is the market, right? If you got a bad Apple, then you got a bad market. And so that was surprising to me. So Apple was up how much today? They were up 4%. Damn, Apple's up 307% the past 5 years. I think Warren Buffett bought his last batch like 140. At least that's the last thing that was disclosed. So Apple's down 10% in the past 3 months, 5% up for the year. If you bought it in January, you're still up 5%. 5 years up 307%. 1 week up 6%. 1 day up about 4%. Oh my God. What if we Apple bottom jeans? This is the other reason I love Sean. He has these like, he still knows pop culture. Which I love. If you guys follow him on Twitter and you see his replies to things, he also shows his pop culture. Oh, the camera's really clear. I'm looking at it on my phone. It's really clear. Let's hope it stays this way. Okay. Hi, just got here today. Please tell me there's no Kelly drama today. Yes, there's no Kelly drama today. If anyone thinks inflation is going to keep up going up from now to November, then you don't know how to read the macro environment. Inflation is all right, Gabe. When you say stuff like that, then you better be right. Because when you make a bold proclamation that everyone is an idiot, basically what you're saying, if they think inflation has not peaked, then inflation better have peaked. It better have peaked. We will see, Gabe. You got a month to see if this is correct. Bitcoin moving up like a champ, 20% up in a week. Yes. So Joel, congratulations to you. I know you have Bitcoin and ETH. Look, I still don't. When Bitcoin went to 17K, I felt really validated in my thesis that like this thing at the end of the day is it's just a meme at the end of the day. Now, yes, is there some potential underlying? Sure. But at the end of the day, when it has that level of volatility to the upside and downside, my mental health can't rest with it. Maybe other people can. So when it's up, from 17 to 23, it's like, all right, that's great. You're up $6,000, but I don't know if I want to have my money tied up in something that volatile at the end of the day. That just moves purely with the bullish or bearishness of the market. If I'm wrong, I won't start a YouTube. Wow. So if inflation hasn't peaked, you will not start a YouTube. All right, Gabe. Let's see. I was buying at 17K admit. Well, that's good, Joel, because now you're up. But that's not your average though, right? you're still, I think your average is what, like in the 30s or some shit? Most people's average on Bitcoin is 30 to 40 because there was a good 4 months of it being stuck at 40 and everyone was thinking it was going to go to 80. So I understand that. I mean, like, I made a nice 700 off ETH. I could have made $3,000 if I sold it at 4,800, but I got out real. I saw it crash that day from 442 to 39 to 37. It got to 37. I'm like, fuck this. I'm out. And I took my $700. Amit has the boots with the fur. I do have the slippers. The Adidas slippers that my mom paid $45 for. And she told me, I was like, what the $45 for slippers? I don't get it. But I'm not going to lie, bro. These are don't tell my mom I said this. This is the comfiest set of slippers I've had I wear these like every day to work, to the office. I'm just in these slippers every day. They're so comfortable. I'm like, yo, honestly, 45 is kind of worth it, but still it's $45, bro. That's a lot. Another stream. Goddamn, the grind keeps going. Yes, sir. It is continuing to happen. We're gonna be streaming a lot once after July 27th. I'm pretty much gonna be live all day, to be honest. So it's gonna be fun. What else we got here? Crypto is not suitable when you have a startup. That's the other thing, bro. Obviously, like I don't have the most I have a decent amount of dry powder because I've saved up pretty well over the past 6 months, but not enough to put it into crypto. Like, yeah, I don't have that type of dry powder because like if that's just not the risk appetite I have. I don't have that much disposable income to put it there. I'd rather, if I was gonna invest it, I'll put it into like stocks, right? Like or just the S&P, but not into crypto. Growth stocks are doing worse than Bitcoin, though. Yeah, but it's about the upside and downside swing and the time period. Like most people that bought Bitcoin at 40K, it's like, yes, if you bought Palantir at 45, you're doing bad. But if you bought Bitcoin at 40, 50, 60, and how quickly it goes up and down, I mean, maybe it goes right back up again, but I don't know. And also, again, philosophically, I think if you bought Palantir at 45, if you can wait 5-6 years, there's like an underlying business that may be worth $45 a share. Whereas Bitcoin, I don't know if there's an underlying asset that's worth 69,000. I don't know. I hate to come off as a crypto bear because that's not my point. It's so volatile to me that I just feel so uncomfortable even thinking of having my money in there. And I can live with the FOMO of it mooning and me being like, oh, I wouldn't have been like, oh, I wish I would have bought it. I would not have been able to sleep at night knowing my money's in Bitcoin. I cannot feel comfortable. I sleep like a baby knowing my money's in Palantir. But with crypto, it's just hard. I'm with Ramath. 4 shares of Palantir and barefoot over slippers. Yeah, that's probably. I just saw your 8-day video. We were rolling. Ramath. Shout out to you, Ramnath. Ramnath, are you from the UK? I'm just guessing because I feel like I know someone in the UK named that. Let me know if you are. If you're not, then let me know if you want to disclose where you're at. That feels like it's a London name for some reason. It's with the Brits. That's such a horrible accent. That's so bad. Your camera's effing up, looks pixelated. Bro, I don't know what to tell you, Greg. I don't know what's wrong with the internet. I wish I had an answer to this. But I don't. We have family there. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Very cool. The thing with inflation is that prices for goods services will not come down anytime soon. Yeah, that is possibly true as well. Now, if Kathy's inventory argument is correct, then prices should be coming down a lot more. But we know inflation is not 9.1. It's probably like 18.1 if we're being honest. So, like, it'll take time for that stuff to catch up, which means it might not be as quick as we think it's going to be happening. Change your setting to 480 and it'll be very clear. Hold on, let me try that. It's at 480. It's not even at HP. Oh, no. Yeah, it's at 480. Damn, that means the Wi-Fi just sucks, bro. The Wi-Fi just sucks. Amit, have you ever been in Boston? Yes, I've been to Boston. So it's such an interesting. Boston. Last time I was in Boston was February 2020. And it's just Boston is a special place in my heart. I basically fell in love with a girl in February 2020 in Boston. If she's watching this, which she's probably not, she knows who she is. It was a fun time. It was right before I got the flu and then I got COVID. I was there at Harvard because I was a debate coach. So I had a debate tournament. And so I was coaching a bunch of kids. I was consulting, and I got to stay at this really nice apartment, or sorry, this like what do you call it? Hotel. Yeah, I was like, what's the word for it? It's hotel. So a really nice hotel. And I just started talking to this girl like 3 weeks ago. And like, this is our first weekend we were away from each other because I had to go to work and she was back in college. And we were just texting each other paragraphs the whole weekend. And that's the last experience I had in Boston. So I have a very, very sweet place in my heart for Boston because I miss it. And then the world shut down. So like, I haven't traveled really since. But I love Boston. Harvard's a great place. It was a nice place to be there. I've been to Boston many times actually, because I've been to the Harvard. I've been to Cambridge. I've been to a lot of places in Boston. Sean lives there, so Sean is from Boston. Amit needs to hire someone like Grace to manage his streams, bro. Yo, Grace is such a nice person too. When I was on the show, she was so nice to me. She would always laugh at my jokes. She'd be like, "Hey, Amit, you need to increase your volume." I would be like, "Bet, I got you, Grace. Thank you so much for looking out." And now I just haven't talked to her for so long because she replaced me. So Max, send the invite. Always down to learn. But yo, Gabe always wants a fight, bro. Gabe always wants a fight. He just loves a fight. Was Sean that girl? No, Sean was not. Even though Sean's probably he's up there in the attractiveness, but he was not that girl. That girl was someone else. It was not Sean. Hypothetical question. If you have 5K, what would you invest in besides Palantir for the long term? Okay. For the long term, I would invest in my startup. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to be super high risky, I would invest in a young, audacious founder who thinks he can take over the world and has a product that's already launched and that has over 2,000 users and people that are posted 10,000 times on the product. But regardless, if you want to do that, honestly, I would pick Tesla. Because when you really understand their technology, seems like it's better. Now, Sean brought up some good points yesterday on our podcast, Not Financial Advice, which is the name of the podcast, which was like, we know that there's going to be a battle for lithium going forward. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult from a supply chain perspective for Tesla to still capitalize on this stuff. But their technology, the edge AI, it's above everything else. So it would be Tesla, Google, the S&P. I think those are 3 easy, safe bets to theoretically 1.5x the money over 5 years. As long as the macro stays good. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, if you're going for like really, really 10x, like more speculative 5-10x opportunities, I think Open Door and SoFi are very interesting. I know those are cultish stocks. I've read through some of their actual financials and they don't look crazy to me. As they looked crazy at $30 and SoFi was like got $39. That's when Chamath was pumping it, which Chamath has not talked about all the crazy IPOs he's pumped up. He's just not talked about it. He's like let that go out of his consciousness. But now at $4 or $5, it's looking like goodness. Like this might be something here. Do you still have your conviction in Purple Biotech? Yes, I do. Purple Biotech was up 8% today. It did well. I think in the long term they get bought out by a really big biopharma. Their CEO just stepped down recently, which is actually really good news because it was up 13% today. Purple Biotech. That's not bad. But no one liked their CEO. So like it was actually a really good thing that the CEO is finally gone because people just didn't like good perception of him. And I think their drug results were fine. I think it's going to take a couple years, but I think they have a shot. But again, that's very speculative. It's a biotech, so I wouldn't like take that to heart. I know Purple Biotech. I've done almost 2 years of due diligence on Purple Biotech, and I really understand their drugs very well. I never talk about it publicly because it's so speculative. I never want people to think that like it's like, oh, Amit said it, so I should invest in it. Like you can say that with Palantir, whatever. Like there's a bigger community, but if you say that with a really niche stock that no one really knows, that has 17 million shares is the OS, the outstanding float, outstanding shares, then it's so niche that you could really lose money in that if you were to theoretically hear me talking about it. So I just never mention it. I never talk about it. But the NT219 molecule that they have created that attacks IRS2 and STAT3 pathways, I've done a lot of research on it, even though I'm not a huge biotech guy, but because I have my money in this stock. And it's truly is some first in class shit. And they're already working with Bristol Myers Squibb and a lot. So if it works out, then it could be really good. But again, it's very speculative because it's a biotech, and if it fails, then it fails. SoFi is my brokerage. I'm annoyed they don't have options yet. You use SoFi as your brokerage, really? I don't know a lot of people doing SoFi on brokerage, or people using SoFi as their brokerage. I've never seen a lot of people do that. Interesting. Yeah, that's weird. They don't have options yet. Their student loan thing is going to screw them because Biden's definitely canceling 10,000 per borrower. I mean, it seems like inevitable that he's doing that, or at least they're extending the pause again. So like they're not going to benefit off the student loan stuff at all. I don't think that's going to happen. Amit, ever thought bringing randos like me on late night talks could be interesting? Yes, absolutely. I think we're going to start doing that probably. I don't know this week, but next week I'm definitely looking for guests. Honestly, I think it would be really cool if subscribers wanted to come on the show, and just talk about anything. Obviously, hopefully we can make it interesting and exciting for people to stay. But yeah, I would love to do that. Especially you, Nate, given your story. Your story is very interesting. So I would love to have you on one day. Also, Gabe, this is the place, Gabe, where you can really go off if you want to go off. And I think you guys would love to hear from Gabe. Gabe, we got to have you on one of these, bro. We got to have you on one of these. Like, we got to just set it up and make sure you're free, and we'll do it. Drew, I need you to explain uranium to me because I don't know anything. I can tell you about Uranus, but I can't tell you about uranium. So if you want to know, hit me up. I've got you. Cash App is your brokerage? Okay. First of all, so Cash App got 8 million downloads in Q1 2022. Largest app downloads, or largest financial app downloads. TikTok, by the way, had like, I think 50 million or something ridiculous. It's crazy. However, I wouldn't be using Cash App as a brokerage, bro. Like that's, I don't know. I don't even think the UI is that amazing on Cash App. Cash App's interesting, bro. Amid the Sensex market just opened. Ring the bell. Okay, let me stop that. People are sleeping, bro. Let me not do that. That was a bad idea. But well, wake your ass up. So those people are waiting for that. Trade with the bank. Banks are the best. I still use Robinhood, so I don't use a bank, but still, like Robinhood's better than a lot more. Been listening to the stream in the shower. So what you're saying, Joel, is like you're talking to me while you're naked, basically. Yo, how much we want to bet? Kelly's in the chat, but she just hasn't commented anything yet. I have a feeling she is, bro. I have a weird feeling she is. But I feel like she's not going to comment anything. She's always lurking around somewhere, bro. I actually use Cash App as well as a broker, but not primary. People keep paying me when we eat out, and I just, yo, that's interesting. If the money just comes through, like I had someone send me $50 on Cash App the other day, and if that could just go into Palantir, like I've been spending it on haircuts and shit because my barbers accept Cash App. That's actually a really good way to think about it. Robinhood is crap. Drew, you're just mad that they don't like you. They don't want your trade options. Is FTX still buying Robinhood? So FTX has a 7% stake in Robinhood they've already purchased. Are they buying Robinhood? I don't think so. I don't think they're buying Robinhood. I mean, it would be interesting if they did, but I don't think they actually are buying Robinhood. I think Kelly's definitely in the chat, bro, because she just responded to my tweet on Twitter where I said late night stock talks. She's definitely in the chat, bro. She's fucking watching. Cash App doesn't have Palantir. Well, maybe Glitch Life's Cash App has Palantir. Joel is pulling a Tom. Bro, Joel, you actually are pulling a Tom. Yo, all right, go. Tom woke me up this morning with the funniest story, bro. It was about how he broke his diet. And that shit, he woke me up at like 6 a.m. and I was laughing my ass out of bed. It was hilarious. I think we're going to tell the story on Can You Learn to Speak, My Guy, either tomorrow or Thursday. That story, by the way, if you haven't subbed to it, yo, we did a podcast called Andrew Tate Buys Palantir. Obviously, it had nothing to do with Andrew Tate buying Palantir because I don't even think Andrew Tate knows what Palantir is. But we talked about Andrew Tate. And then after it, the original title was Google Does a Stock Split. And then after the pod ended, Tom was like, well, we talked about Andrew Tate the whole time. Call it Andrew Tate Buys Palantir. And I did that name. And I'm about to check how many views the pod has right now. And I'll tell you guys the story tomorrow on the pod or Thursday. That he woke me up with. That shit has almost 6,000 views, bro. 5.6K. That's our biggest pod. Just because we said Andrew Tate Buys Palantir. That is wild, bro. You guys have to see that pod. It was a good pod. But like, wow. 5.6 thousand. Because it's a good title. Andrew Tate Buys Palantir. We talked about Palantir a little bit in there. But it was mainly Andrew Tate. That was hilarious, bro. I love that you named it that. Yeah. We named it Google Does a Stock Split and J-Lo gets married to Ben Affleck because I was so happy that J-Lo got married to Ben Affleck. And then we realized, like, wait a second. We talked about Andrew Tate at the end. We talked for like 2 minutes. I was like, so Google Stock Split. It's like, that was the title. We got to talk about it, right? I have a confession to make. I have 1776 Wish shares. For some reason, because you said 1776, I feel like you're referring to the year the United States got its freedom. So are you playing with that, or is that just a coincidence? But what's your average on Wish? Is like 20? Yo, I could not believe that the Lakers allowed Wish to sponsor them, bro. Like when I saw LeBron wearing a jersey and it had Wish on it, I was like, bro, I get that the NBA is going corporate, but this is not the wave, bro. You can't have a shitty brand justifying that. It's not good. Looking for any audio engineers for the startup? Not necessarily. We wouldn't be looking for the startup has nothing to do with like mixing or mastering audio. It had like we would need, like, if we were gonna hire engineers, it'd be like actual developers, like tech engineers. But we don't need any right now. Probably will in the future. But yeah, we don't need audio engineers necessarily. I bet they are wishing they didn't. Yeah, like when I saw LeBron wearing Wish, I was like, can you imagine? Let's say LeBron won a championship in that jersey. Could you imagine him holding the trophy with the Wish logo? Because the way I think about it is, if you're sponsoring an NBA team, if you get a good NBA team, you are potentially attaching your brand to something that can go down in history. Like imagine you sponsored the Golden State Warriors this year. Let's say you were at like Coca-Cola. I think they got Rakuten. It's like a technology company that they got to sponsor them. But if imagine Coca-Cola's brand was splattered all over Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and all the other guys they have, Andrew Wiggins, like for 10 days straight in the NBA Finals or for the whole season because they sponsor them. That's millions of eyeballs. And then they win the championship, and all the good feelings that everyone in the San Francisco Bay Area and around the world are experiencing is simultaneously and subconsciously associated with Coca-Cola. I mean, goodness gracious. Like, come on, man. That's a hell of a brand deal. That's a hell of a brand deal. Glitch Life, I just checked my Twitter. So Glitch Life, oh wow. So yeah, they bought Cash App. They bought $36 of Palantir on Cash App. That's a pretty good UI on Cash App. I've never tried it on Cash App. I got to try it. Never tried it. Def, make a video of day in the life of CEO once you make your company public. Well, so we're already doing week in the life of a CEO. I want to show you guys that video, but I also want you to wait until you guys until we launch. My editor, he edited it 2 days ago, and it's such a good week in the life video, bro. We started it on Wednesday, so we only have 3 days of footage, but now we're recording this week properly. He's really good at editing, bro. I got really lucky. It's finding him. Like he flew out all the way from California to do this with me. He's 22 as well, so he's young, he's ambitious, and he gets to live in a nice ass apartment for free. So that's also a plus, and he gets to get paid to make content. So, but he's so talented at videography, and he made such a good, and he works so hard. Like he's working even when he's not supposed to be working right after hours. So I can't wait to show you guys that video. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really, really good. Hold on. What did Sean say? He said those were the signs. Easy Capital and no name company sponsoring major. That's such a good point. That's a great point of calling the top, bro. When you have Wish, which is Chinese junk. No offense to people in China, but it's Chinese junk sponsoring the Los Angeles Lakers in the first year that LeBron James decides to come. Come on, man. That is the top. Or at least that's feeling like it's the top. Why should I invest in your current idea with engineers? What are their credentials and expertise? So I will be so I have one CTO. He's a phenomenal CTO. I can send you guys. Well, I will be disclosing his resume when we unveil the crowdfund and everything. A little bit about him is quick little diatribe. He lives in California. His wife and 2 kids. He's pretty rich. He's pretty rich. He's done well for himself. He has his own consulting firm. He's worked with major Fortune 500 companies like Sony, built entire recommendation algorithms, backend platforms, all this stuff. 29 years of software engineering experience. He's legit. He doesn't need the money. He makes money. He partnered with a 23-year-old 2 years ago and took 50% equity of a startup that he knew he wasn't going to get paid for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years because now he wants to get wealthy. And you only get wealthy, and you start to realize this, you guys all know this because you all are investors, when you have equity in a business. And the earliest form of equity is, when you pay for 0.0001 cent for 4 million shares of a startup, right? When you own 10% of a business that has like a $600-700 million buyout. So he's looking to get wealthy, which is why he partnered. I wasn't supposed to land him as a CTO. I was fresh out of college. I should not have been able to get this guy as my CTO. Like on the market, he would, as a FANG engineer, he'd probably make 300, 400, 500 grand as a senior level engineer. But he's done so well for himself. He's done startups in the past before, and a lot of his startups failed, not because the tech was bad. It's because he didn't have distribution. He didn't have a guy that could get the world to care about it. So I have absolutely no doubt in my CTO and my team. Now it's a question of execution on the marketing side. So I'll be disclosing his resume, and you guys can see all of that stuff as well. But it's very interesting. Sean, what are you doing right now in this very second? Sean says, sitting on the couch with Mrs. Invest Live. Sean, is she listening to this? Is she hearing, or do you have headphones on? I'm curious. That would be because, like, if she's listening to me, shout out to her. She has a very smart husband, and she knows this. Amit making me want to FOMO into Audia equity. Hey guys, look, I've been very clear about this. If you can, so I did an interview today. Oh, let me. Damn, I don't want to show you guys. I want to show you when it comes. So how startups do a roadshow when they have an IPO and they go to all these big banks and convince them to buy the stock to go. It's like what they have to do to go public. I'm basically doing that with my startup. So I've interviewed like 11 people who have invested anywhere from 5 to 25K. And basically when the startup launches, I'm going to be releasing those interviews, A, because it's going to be marketing the startup a little bit, B, it'll be marketing the crowdfund. So if you are thinking of investing, at least you will get to see what other people and why they invested, their rationale for investing. And then you can decide, do I agree with this? Do I disagree with this? The number one thing I say in all those videos, and I make sure the investors say this as well, is that they can afford to lose it. That is the biggest thing. They can afford to lose it. They can afford to lose their money. If you're investing 10K, they're afford to lose it. If you're investing 20, they can afford to. Startups are very risky, very likely to fail. It's a bet on me. It's a bet that I can take it to the moon. It's a bet that I can do a good job. It's a bet that I can execute. I think we've done a lot of stuff to de-risk it to some extent. We found a niche in the market opportunity, all that stuff. But it's at the end of the day, it's very important to understand you could lose this. So if you are not comfortable with losing $1,000, $100, $5,000, whatever, then don't invest because you're going to have a lot of regret in your heart. You got it. This is one of the, you don't invest into Google, think you're going to lose your money because Google will be around 10 years from now, right? This thing it's either hit or miss. And so you got to be very, very careful with that. Headphones. I'm the lucky one. Sean, giving a little little flirtatiousness here. Huh. Very true. Very true. How is Amit able to afford mods? I don't pay the mods. Joel just wanted to be mod because he's a mod. I don't think I have the money to pay mods, guys. That's a lot. About to go to bed and see you're on. Good morning. Good morning, Quarantine Quartet. Yeah, we're going to be doing the live stream this morning, 9:20. So there it is, 9:20 a.m. What platform are you using for crowdfunding? WeFunder.com. It's a pretty good platform, WeFunder.com. Amit, what percent of your main channel, this one will be about your startup once it launches? This is a very good question, Jay Schwat. I've been struggling with this a lot. So here's my thought process on this. Starting a new channel is very difficult. Starting a new channel that ranks within a certain algorithm that is not Palantir based or stocks based is easier to grow than bombarding this channel with content that's not related to the keywords and things that I talk about. However, then I look at people like Meet Kevin. This motherfucker ran for governor on the same channel where he was giving COVID updates 4 times. Like, at some level, I'm also just like, bro, the 13,000 people that subscribed, yes, they maybe have subscribed for a reason outside of subscribing because they wanted to see me. But the name of the channel is Amit. Like, they subscribed for me. And if they really don't like me and they don't like the content, they'll just leave. And that's totally fine. That's whatever. Like, it's okay. I think if like 1 or 2 videos, if I put out 4 videos a day and 1 out of the 4, 2 out of the 4 are startup related, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. But I do want to ask you guys what you guys think about that, because the value in the startup content is, here's the documentation of a guy building something, and here's the potential value just from a business owner or someone who is an investor who or thinking of like starting something of their own. That's the value you're going for. So either I could do a video of me talking about Netflix earnings, or it could be a video of me showing the day in the life of a CEO of a startup. Like, I think both are theoretically valuable. Now, how do they perform on the channel? I don't know. We're going to have to see. But I do think at least like 1 out of the 4, at least for the first week, all the investor interviews, they're definitely going to be on this channel so people can check it out. But it's not like I'm going to stop talking about stocks and investing and all that stuff. But I look at what Meet Kevin did, and I'm just like, yeah, that it's not crazy that he did all of his personal stuff and governor and all this stuff, and he's still like, you can talk about both, right? It's not the worst thing in the world. So just keep it all under one roof. Of it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Glitch. The only separate channel I'm going to make is for the shorts, because YouTube shorts on this channel would just be too much flooding, and you guys would get really annoyed by it because I'm uploading like 30 shorts a day. We're making a lot of content, so I don't want to bombard you guys with that. So I would make a separate shorts channel. But in terms of like an actual separate channel for a minute, I don't know. I kind of think on this channel it's the best to do it. Keep it under the same channel. Def, keep it under this channel. Most people sub for the person. Yeah, I think so too, man. Most people sub for the person at the end of the day. All right, Kelly came out of the blue. She's in the chat. Gabriel said, I'm betting on you because you have a great beard. I'm not betting as much as I would because you use top button. Gabe, with your blessing, I will ask the question that we talked about today in the chat. It is your blessing, though. You have to tell me to ask the question, and I will ask the question to the chat. There's 75 people here. I will ask the question. If you don't want me to ask the question, I won't ask the question. So let me know if you want me to ask the question. Gabe, you know what it is. Let me know. Wouldn't TikTok be better for shorts? Yes, we are using TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. So for those who don't know, the marketing distribution strategy is going to be heavy content related, and we're coming at this bitch like 40, 50 times a day on each platform. It's actually going to be, if we pull it off, insane. You know how Andrew Tate popped up out of nowhere? And by the way, the reason he did this is because he's selling some affiliate program on his courses. So he has all of his little minions making all this content around him, and it's driving traffic back to his course, which they get an affiliate commission off of. But it's genius from a marketing perspective because you have like hundreds of thousands of people making, like, if you look up Andrew Tate, there's no actual YouTube channel. There's no actual TikTok. There's just a bunch of like 1 billion fan accounts. So he just flooded the internet with his rambunctious takes, and he got some attention. Now, my takes are not going to be, like the sort of alpha, whatever nonsense he talks about, but it is going to be content marketing at scale. And the reason we raised the money is to be able to have the infrastructure to be able to, when you create the media, you don't have to spend advertising dollars against other media because you are the media. And ironically enough, when you are the media, people actually care more about what you have created. And as a result, kind of buy into your mission, your goal, your journey, potentially care about your product. So we are trying to be the media company that drives the customer acquisition, which theoretically should make the customer acquisition very low. Because if we're able to go viral on these platforms consistently over the next 2 years, and then you have some a hint of network effects and product market fit, this thing could really fucking blow up. And that's why I'm very confident. Now, the bet is, am I the person to be able to get people to care about it from a content standpoint? That's where we have to see. That's where we have to see. Go ahead and ask Amit. I can't wait to see how you phrase it. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, you guys are going to want to hear this. Sean, I want to know your opinion as well on this, Sean, okay? I want to know your opinion. Now, just to preview this, a lot of you are going to disagree with what I'm about to say. So I was talking to Gabe, my good friend Gabe. He's right here. Gabriel S. I love this guy. He's a veteran military. I really do. This guy's turning into one of my good friends. It's crazy because we never met each other, but he's gonna fly up to New Jersey just to get a drink with. Like he's a great guy. Well, we don't drink, but we're gonna like go get dinner. We actually both don't drink, so he's a great guy. Now, Gabe texted me today. Okay, I'm gonna be as neutral as possible when I'm framing this. I want to know what everyone's actual opinion is on this. Okay, you got to really give your objective opinion. I think most of you will agree with me and not agree with Gabe. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but that doesn't mean that he's wrong. That just means that there's a different perspective here. Gabe messaged me, hey, I just spent $11,000 to buy a 4-day pass to a conference. It's hosted by Patrick Bet-David, for those who know him. And I get a 3-hour dinner with Patrick Bet-David. I get some exclusive like meet and greets with some of the people there, like Robert Kiyosaki and all that stuff. And I'm excited for it. Now, in hindsight, I should not have been as negative when I responded, because I should have been like, Gabe, you're my friend. I'm happy for you that you're going there. That should have been the first response. 1000%. That was my mistake. My first response was, I kind of feel like 11,000 for a dinner is stupid. That was my first response. Okay. So now you got to understand, Gabe is doing this because he wants the networking from it. He wants the social exposure. He wants Patrick Bet-David is someone he really looks up to. So he wants that. And also Gabe is not broke. Gabe is doing very well for himself. So 10,000 to him is, quite frankly, I would say maybe $300 to me is 10,000 for him. So it's not that crazy, right? He can afford to doing that. Here we go. Glitch Life. So my question is, would you guys have spent that money for that type of a networking event? I am with Gabe right off the bat. Who you know is everything. These networking events are literally everything in business. And that's what I told Gabe. I told Gabe, you're actually correct. These networking events probably, like, if you find a guy that gets you more connections, and that 10K turns into one day 100, like, obviously who you know is everything. I personally just felt if you're going for the content, all the shit that Robert Kiyosaki talks about is all on the internet. It's all on YouTube. It's like going to music. I don't like going to music concerts because I'm like, the music, like, I'd rather just listen to the music. I don't want to be there live. But if you're going for the real social interactions, I don't think it's I don't think it's necessarily a bad deal per se. So that was sort of the little argument, or not argument, but like kind of disagreement that we had. Because originally I was like, this is 11 grand just for a couple of days trip. But in the business conference world, I mean, these companies pay for this stuff. And it's more than 11 grand in a lot of these conferences. I just felt personally I wouldn't have paid 11 grand. That's a lot of money. But that's also a lot of money for me at my age, not a lot of money for other people. Sorry, Amit, I didn't realize the preface was whether or not I was loaded. I would do way worse with 10K than that. That's a good point. I'm with Gabe. As long as he can afford it, it doesn't affect his day-to-day. It's whatever. Exactly. That's my point. So in hindsight, I should have been like, oh, that's kind of dumb. I should have been like, because I also know Gabe's doing well for himself. But the gut instinct in me at 24 years old that can't afford to do that was like, 10K for a fucking dinner, my guy? Like, I could cook you up some chicken right now for like $20. Like, we're good. That's just how it was. Put it in perspective, 11K is less than 1% of my net worth, and it's tax deductible. That is also the case. So that is also why I think it's relevant. It's doable. See, Gabe, most people agreed with you. People aren't shitting on you. So I think I explained it pretty well. Been listening to Eminem nonstop for 10 years straight. Not Afraid is up there for me. I know that's a cop-out answer, but I still love that song. Lose Yourself I know that's a way worse cop-out answer, but that's number one for me. I had an Eminem phase from 2009 to 2011, 2007 to 2011. I was going through the catalog. I was really in Toy Soldiers, all those songs. Like I had the Recovery or the Relapse album, the crazy remixes he did with Bret Hart, all this crazy shit. D12. So I know Eminem pretty well. I don't listen to him too much anymore, but because the latest albums are kind of but I do listen to Eminem. Sean, I won't say agree, disagree, not my business, but there are far bigger players you are probably connected to via a few degrees of separation. I agree. So I think like Gabe's point is probably he's looking to meet those people that can attach him to those degrees of separation, and he thinks this event will get him there. Now, I don't think that's wrong, but I also think, maybe like, I don't know, maybe there's other ways to do that than pay the 11K. But my thing is like, if you're going for the fun of the conference and like there's networking involved, then maybe it's worth it. But I also was just like, Patrick Bet David to me is awesome, but I think a 3-hour dinner is not going to change anyone's life. And I was like, 11,000 like is like a bit rough to me to suspend that immediately. That's why I was just like, I don't think that's worth it. Rich people do rich people things. I'll enjoy my ramen tonight. Gabe, Jackalope, I hope you choke on your ramen. Yo! That's why I love Gabe. This is so funny. That's hilarious. I love it. Most people agree if 10K is less than 1% of your net worth, you can do whatever you like. Yeah, it's just, bro, I don't think I would ever spend 10K on a, like, see, if I was Gabe, I would angel invest that 10K, not even just to me or whatever, right? Because I was like, I would find like angel investments online if you're going to be super risky with that 10K and like put it into that and see like, I like that has a better rate of return over some 4-day conference that might or might not help you meet someone that might or might not do something. But then again, if you're trying to level up in life and you've already reached a certain amount of net worth and you need to get to another level and you need the Pat Bet Davids of the world in terms of connections, then it might be worth it. It's just the question of in those 3 hours, are you going to create some type of meaningful connection that's going to get you there? That's my point. I hope to get there sometimes. I'm a social worker, CPS specialist. I work my ass off and make 50K a year. Need to go to grad school to get my clinical therapist license, independent practice. Yo, Glitch Life, did you save up a lot of money? Because you've got a decent amount of stocks. So with making, I'm assuming you saved up your 50K salary for a couple of years before you bought all of the money that you put into stocks. Because you have a lot of, you have a pretty decent portfolio of shares, right? So yeah, I mean, regardless of making 50K, like you've probably saved up enough to really start a decent portfolio. Back from my run, these late light. Emmanuel, were you listening to me while you were running? That'd be cool if you were. No power respects those marketers. Well, see, all right, Gabe, this is a good point. This is the other thing. Here's the other thing. This is the other thing I wanted to say. I forgot to say on our phone call. A lot of people that charge 10K to talk to them, this is also the thing I feel. I'm like, let me put it like this. I think Sean from Invest to Live is more powerful than Patrick Bet David. That's my point. I say that with no bullshit in my, I'm saying that right now with no bull. That's not to gas Sean up. That's just in the private conversations we've had and the things I know about the people that he's talked to. Patrick Bet David has social influence, but in terms of like connection, I would go with Sean, right? And Sean's an average dude that's just there that you just know. So that's my thing. I don't think Sean's been like, hey, 10,000 to talk to me for a 3-hour dinner. It feels scammy, right? It just feels like, like 10,000 just to talk to you. And I understand the difference between value and time, right? Grant Cardone gives a speech at some conference, $100,000 for 60 minutes. I get it, right? Because he's getting paid for the value he brings to the conference, not just his time. So 100,000 for 60 minutes sounds crazy, but if that's your value, that's your value. It's a difference between value and time. It's just then if you're that good of a business person, why are you charging average people $10,000? Like, does any real business superstar have a $5 per month Patreon? No, right? Like that. So like, that's my point. It's like when they say they're charging you for their time, for that money, that's where it gets a little interesting to me. That's where it gets very, very interesting to me. 3 hours with Sean seems more worth it. Yes, that's kind of my point. And again, I'm not knocking anyone for wanting to spend time with Pat Bet David. I'm just like, that motherfucker is so big on social media and he has such a cult-based following, which is not a bad thing. He could say, hey guys, I have 10 spots open for 25,000 each for an hour long. This hour might change your life. And he's broadcasting that to 15 million subscribers or whatever across his socials. You're going to get 10 people to pay for it. That's just the law of averages. It's kind of how it works, right? And so I'm asking, do I want to be one of those 10 people that does that? That's my question. This is what Kevin did, right? He was charging 4,000 hours for an hour of his time. I get it. Time versus value. He has busy things to do. In that hour, he could make a YouTube video, and maybe that YouTube video gets him $4,000 in ad revenue. I understand. I just feel like if you're that good at business and success, why are you monetizing your time in this way? That's the thing. Zero time anytime you're married. That's the thing. Okay, where's Gabe's response? Gabe, did you respond? I would pay money to hang out with Code Strap. Yeah, see, like this is the type of stuff versus some of these bigger guys. Not big enough for me to know who he is. Look him up on YouTube, Pat Bet David. He's a pretty big guy in the business world, entrepreneurship world. He's a pretty big guy. But so that's my thing. That's why when I heard it, Gabe, I was just like, but if you're going for the networking and conferencing, I understand it's different. But if you're going just for the dinner, that's when I'm like, that's different. So after the 26th, will you be doing more late night stock talks? Are you trying something with the late night talk show? After the 27th, I will be late night stock talking probably every day, 6 days a week, 7 days, maybe 5 days a week. It's going to be every day. I'm going to be live streaming a lot. It's part of a broader content plan that I have. So yes, it's not a late night talk show. It's kind of just like the most raw time I can form community with my audience. And it's this hour at night from 11 to 12. So it's going to happen probably every day. We need a no charge masterclass dinner. I agree. We definitely need more collaborations where people just offer their expertises and insights. Anyone else in the Portland area, Oregon area? So Gabe is in Charlotte. I'm in Jersey. Glitch Life's in Portland. Sean's in Boston. I love keyboard tough guy. Yo, Gabe, why are you always trying to fight, bro? We got to find a mutual place where we could all meet up. Amit and others yearly meetup. Yo, I'd be so down. We just got to find a mutual area where everyone could meet. Amit, one of these nights you can try a really late night stream and long stream just to see when most people leave. Yeah, the problem is I got to wake up in the morning to do the morning live stream. So I should probably be going in like 5 minutes, but it's kind of fun, bro. What's interesting? I used to watch this I think I told you guys this yesterday. I used to watch a late night streamer in 2018 and he pulled in on Twitch, probably like 5 to 6K people. And 5 to 6K sounds like a lot. Obviously it's more than 68 people. But that 5K was a very knit community, right? And I used to watch him till 3 a.m. sometimes. Now, granted, I was in college and I was bored and stuff, but I should have been reading The Intelligent Investor and some shit. I should have been doing more. But like, I like it was something about just having a community there. Like, the people come, you have conversations. We didn't even get people on this live stream. Eventually, we'll do that. So it doesn't feel like a podcast or anything like that. It just feels like fun, just having discussions. Callie, you're from Canada, so no one cares about you. So stop talking in the chat that you're gonna have a meetup in you're in Canada, bro. Like, no one, like, you need to show your shit. You need to go to the border and show them your fucking all that shit. No, bro, we're not doing that. My day off work is tomorrow, so that's true. Joel, what you doing tomorrow then? What are you gonna do all day tomorrow? Come to the tavern for the green for brunch when QQ performs, bro. Quarantine course. I would love to see you guys live. The fact that your family is a quartet, it's so amazing. Are you ever going to change your name, though, from Quarantine? Because, like, you guys aren't quarantined anymore, right? Or is that the brand? Or are you just going to keep that? Boston people, let's meet up and bitch about a bit. First of all, I can come to Boston. Okay, it's not that far from me. So I would not let you guys do that bitching there. Did you switch your mic back? I just didn't plug in the really expensive mic. I'm just using the basic mic. Fix your internet seems to be clear. Sometimes the internet just actually works like that. Amit is jealous that we have free healthcare. No, I'm annoyed that I have Canadian people who want to invest in my startup and the government of Canada doesn't let non-accredited investors invest through third-party crowding platforms. I would have like 30K if more than I have right now if your government wasn't so freaking dictatorial about people's money. That was the annoying part. We quarantined. We formed a quartet. We are the Quarantine Quartet. It's our band name. I love it. I respect it. Makes sense to me. Carlos says, I love you. I love you too, Carlos. Thank you so much for being here. Miami sounds like, so Miami has been like the tech hub of the past couple of months, or the past year, 2021. Most tech VC funds have moved their headquarters. Not most of them, but a lot of them. And startups have headquartered in Miami. I have not really been to Miami and had a night out or anything like that. Mainly because I don't really like going out and stuff like that. But I would want to go to Miami and like just have a couple nights and see what Miami is like. Gabe says I'm born and raised in Miami. Yeah, Gabe, you got to take me to Miami, bro. Forget New Jersey. We should plan a trip to Miami, Gabe. You can teach me all about what it means to be a man there. We can talk. Oh, you went to the All In Summit? Worth every penny. See, how much did you play for that Gitch Life? because I know the tickets were $7,500. But I do know they also had this like donation thing where you could pay as much as you wanted to pay, and like they had the scholarship. How much did you pay for that? Because the Olin Summit, I feel like is worth 10,000 over Pat Bet David. I'm sorry, like, even though again you could watch all of it on YouTube, which makes me feel like blah, blah, blah. But again, the networking in that event, I think it might be a little bit better than the Pat Bet David stuff. Curtis Hoover says, I fucking love you, Amit. I watched like everything you do. I got up early tonight and got to watch you live on the way home. You responded to one of my comments today, and I feel like a rock star now. Yo, I really appreciate that, Curtis. I don't think you're a name I've heard many times on the stream, so thank you for being here. But I appreciate that. That means the world to me, man. I said this. I don't mean to sound super sentimental, but last year when I was trying to build a brand on social and all this stuff, I remember what it feels like to try to make content and 0 people show up, 0 people respond to your tweet. Like, it sucks, bro. It's the growing pains of trying to be a content creator, and it's really tough in the beginning, and eventually most people quit. But if you just keep pulling through, sometimes you get to have an impact on people's lives, and they really enjoy and value the content you have. And my startup is based on that philosophy of giving more and more people ability to have the feeling that I'm feeling right now, which is an impact on other people. I think there needs to be more mechanisms to allow that to happen at scale. And I think if you do that, the way the world's attention is shifting, that shit could get really fucking big, because a lot of people there's 4 billion people that are not online yet. And when they get online, guess what they're going to want to do? They're going to want to talk. They're going to want to express themselves. They're going to want to post photos. They're going to want to build an audience. They're going to want to have their own brands and courses, and they're going to want to have their own e-commerce stores. These people are going to want to make content and have purpose and meaning in their life outside of figuring out when they can have their next meal, because the world hopefully will be more developed and they'll have infrastructure for technology to be able to sustainably make content. And so there's just a massive opportunity for more and more platforms, I believe. I don't think it has to be stuck within YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook to be able to democratize more opportunity for people. I just got a really interesting text. I don't know if I should read this yet. Vegas would also be awesome. Vegas would also be awesome. Amit, has the NFT platform VV come across your radar? Would love to hear your thoughts. Apparently, I own one of the rarest NFTs on his. Yeah, I did their coin collapse. I know Andre is big on that. I've heard of them before. I do know they do digital collectibles of like really iconic brands like Disney and Spider-Man. So it's a little bit more valuable than regular like monkeys that are bored. But I'm not sure how well they're doing given the crypto stuff that's going on. Remember watching Amit last December. Crazy that it's almost been a year. Yo, all right, we're going to end it off with this. It is crazy that it's almost July's almost over. 10 days away or 11, and then August. And then after August, September through December, end of the year. That's wild to me. That is absolutely wild. That is just crazy to me. Okay, so Kelly said one of your mods muted me in the chat. No, Kelly, I didn't mute you. She thinks I muted her. There's only one mod, so yo, I'm not gonna say who the mods are because I don't want to expose them. Kelly, I didn't mute you, bro. I didn't do that. Like, now she's mad about it, bro. Why are you guys muting her? Oh my gosh. Bro, okay, one of the mods who I think did it. Text me on Twitter right now and tell me if you did it. DM me on Twitter and tell me if you muted her. Okay, I think the person who I don't think it was them. I only have one mod though, right? Or I have 2 mods? Do I have 2 mods? I think I have 2 mods. Kelly, I didn't do this to you, so I don't know who did. I don't know who did it. Like, so if you are the mod that did it, tell me on Twitter if you did it. Guys, don't mute people. She's a friend of the stream. We're doing a podcast together. But Kelly, don't be butthurt about it either. It's not a big deal. Like, it's just a joke at the end of the day. Okay, guys, I think we're done. That's a fun way to end the stream. We got Kelly pissed off. 2 days in a row. We figured out how to do it. That's funny. It was the KGB. Shout out to Greg. Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, we're ending it now. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys come back tomorrow. Lots to talk about tomorrow. Live stream Wednesday, middle of the week. Gonna have some fun stuff to be doing in the week. So 9:20 a.m. tomorrow. I will see you guys there. Thank you for being here so much. Late night stock talks. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It means the absolute world to me for you guys being here. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.